Less than 200,000 people still without power since last week's deadly storms. What we're learning from Centerpoint about restoration efforts.
I can barely concentrate in the heat. Like, anytime I get too hot, usually I fall asleep.
We caught up with students who were pulled out of school because there was no air conditioning on campus.
And we check in with assisted living facilities who are still dealing with power outages, among other concerns. And we are keeping an eye on those power outages. According to Centerpoint, around 194,000 people are still without power, and just over 260,000 had their power restored in the last 24 hours. Centerpoint also updated its map showing estimated restoration times. Crews in parts of Bel Air, Spring Branch, The Heights, Lazy Brook, Timber Grove, and Cottage Grove are seeing significant damage.
We know these outages are the main concern for a lot of people, especially in this heat.
Yeah, Centerpoint says they hope to have power fully restored by Wednesday. Sherman Chow joining us live with how people are recovering. Sherman.
Oh, you know what? Relatively good spirits, all things considered. It is hot and muggy out here, as you say, no power. Take a look at behind me, just mounds and mounds of debris in front of what feels like every other home in the Spring Branch area. You're talking trees, the limbs, the branches, the stumps, everything out there. And, you know, many of the trees, even the large ones that were felled here in this neighborhood by the storm, were actually cleared by the local residents, including a man named Gary Taylor. He spent the last few days helping out in his neighborhood, clearing trees from yards and roadways. He used to be a tree trimmer and landscaper, so he knows what he's doing. He even put out orange caution cones around the felled trees to warn folks, stay away, but two motorists, he says, drove into the downed trees anyways and had accidents before he could even clear up the debris.
Well, I got three chainsaws and one pole saw, and I got a blower, and I got a pair of gloves and two healthy hands. And we just get out there and go to work.
As you noted, power is still out in this neighborhood. Gary's got a little generator, and like those who can, he's working to keep a fridge and a freezer cold, trying to save the food he can. But he's not keeping himself cool. He has been working up a sweat. He says he likes hard labor. And let me tell you, he's the kind of person you would love to have as a neighbor. Something else kind of interesting, Gary tells me that he will be 70 years old in just a couple of months. And I don't know, guys, I may be moving in next door to Gary.
All right, Sherman, thank you. Several Houston ISD schools dismissed early today because of air conditioning issues.
While others tried sweating it out with partially working systems after last week's storm. Jason Miles is live at Booker T. Washington High School. Jason, we understand Superintendent Mike Miles will be updating the district's response there within the hour.
That's right. We plan to hear from Superintendent Mike Miles at 4:45 here at BTW. You may recall more than 50 HISD schools were closed today because of power outages or storm damage. Some say others should have been closed as well, if not the entire district. Take a look at some video from Heights High School late this morning. That school had to dismiss early due to problems with the air conditioning. We saw windows open at the school and even students holding signs reading SOS. The district confirming Reynolds Elementary dismissed early for the same reason, no AC. Meanwhile, other campuses appear to have partial air, and they're relying on fans to help kids cool, keep kids cool. Tirarena Elementary, their PTA even dropped off snow cones to help refresh the kids. Here's some of what we heard outside Heights High.
Power's on, but the AC is not working, so I just don't understand why they would send us to school if the AC is not working, you know what I'm saying?
I can barely concentrate in the heat. Like, anytime I get too hot, usually I fall asleep. So it makes it really hard to concentrate on my work.
It's 94 degrees in some of these classes. A friend of mine picked up his son and his clothes were soaked. This was a bad decision.
We did hear from one parent who told us the power at their home is also off, so going to school was the best thing for her daughter if the AC had been working effectively or even partially working. The district saying maintenance staff are doing everything they can to help manage things, in addition, obviously, to utility crews like Centerpoint. Mike Miles, again, expected to address the storm response and any criticism coming up at 4:45. But I can tell you, I spoke with a staff member at one school today. They're part of that school was had AC. The cafeteria did not, so the kids got snacks and cool items or items that didn't need refrigeration for lunch today. Reporting live from Booker T. Washington High, Jason Miles, KHOU 11 News.
Yeah, thank you, Jason. This lack of AC making everything harder. We know 2 local school districts are closed tomorrow. That's Spring Branch ISD and Cy-Fair ISD. We'll continue to update this list if any other districts announce anything more.
As we've been showing you, energy crews are working to restore power, and those still waiting include senior citizens. Jalissa Garza joining us in Northeast Houston with how some are getting by with no power. Jalissa, it's got to be tough.
Yeah, Rake, as you can imagine, it's hot out here, so imagine how hot it is inside of this apartment complex. This is Cypress Gardens Senior Living Apartment Complex. They've been without power since Thursday. They tell me that it's been difficult. Today, the Houston Fire Department, along with the Health Department, stopped by to check in on these folks and make sure that they're okay. This apartment complex has 3 floors, so those on the 3rd floor say it's really hot, but it's not just that that's making it difficult, the heat. It's also the fact that some of the elevators are out, so some folks who aren't able to move around say that that has made things even more challenging.
I'm in the handicap room. I have a cane, I have one eye. And with the elevators out, it's been very inconvenient trying to walk up and down the stairs. The staircase is real dark, even in the daytime.
The Houston Health Department was also here today, like I mentioned, checking in on the residents. Luckily, a generator was brought today to provide some relief, and just a few moments ago, a second generator was brought in. They tell me, but the folks here tell me that seeing fire crews and people bringing water and ice was a sign of relief for them. The Houston Health Department does tell me that they were just notified today about this senior facility not having any power, so they're urging people to check in on the most vulnerable in our community, those senior citizens, and check in on one another, and if you know somebody who needs help, to be sure and reach out. Back to you.
Yeah, in times like these, we all need each other. Thank you so much. Now, with about 200,000 people still without power, there's a race to distribute much needed supplies as well as food and water. That effort ongoing in the city of Houston as well as the suburbs. Victor Jacobo has been tracking this all day. Victor.
Yeah, we're in the Bridgeland neighborhood of the Cypress area, and I want to show you this home behind me that's at a complete loss and destroyed here. But there's other houses in the area that have roofs and windows completely blown out. I spoke with the owner of this home, who tells me that it's been a difficult few days after the storms from Thursday rushed through and destroyed this home. Insurance agents were out here today documenting the damage. There are other homes, as I mentioned, in the area also with damage, and this afternoon a nonprofit group called Zoe's Outreach Ministry was out handing out water, food, and other essential items to those in the neighborhood. It's one example of the community stepping out to help those impacted by the storms. Meanwhile, in Spring Branch, back in Houston, one of the multiple distribution sites opened for people to receive water, ice, and food. There were long lines of people in cars and on foot waiting to get resources. There were also metro buses for people to cool down, and there were efforts to get power back up at that Boys and Girls Club in Spring Branch to use that as a cooling center. Now, leaders in both Houston and Cypress say it's a collaborative effort to help those still affected.
I just want everybody to know, the city of Houston, the county commissioner, the state of Texas, the FEMA, we're meeting with the FEMA director this afternoon. But what I want everybody to know is we're getting through this together, and there's not going to be a community.
This is a big deal that everybody came together less than 24 hours to be a blessing to all of these Cypress communities.
The Cypress community still heavily impacted. Cy-Fair ISD announced all district schools and facilities will remain closed tomorrow. At last check, still 16 campuses, 2 transportation centers, and 1 early learning center still without power. Now, if you need more information on resources like distribution sites or anything else local to your area, check out our website, KHOU.com. Now reporting live in the Cypress area, Victor Jacobo, KHOU 11 News.
Still so much more work to be done. Victor, thank you. You know, storm damage can be costly, and trying to navigate financial help can be tricky. Our Grace White walks us through how to apply for federal money. If your home was damaged in last week's storms or you've been displaced, there is help from FEMA. Here's who is eligible. You have to live in one of these 7 counties: Harris, Liberty, Montgomery, Polk, San Jacinto, Trinity, and Walker. You can get a $750 payment to cover household essential items. There is also a new displacement assistance to give people upfront funds to stay in the housing of their choice. And for the first time, there's more help for the underinsured. FEMA will pay up to $42,000 for home repairs that insurance won't cover. You can apply online at disasterassistance.gov. You can also download FEMA's app or call their helpline. That number, 1-800-621-3362. 1-800-621-3362. And we have all of that information for you at KHOU.com/GraceCanHelp. Grace, thank you. Let's get a check on the forecast now. Taking a live look outside, the heat is building this afternoon. Meteorologist Pat Kavlin joins us now.
Hey, Pat, what's the latest? We really need a cold front right now.
You're not going to get a cold front. I mean, we had a cold front, quote unquote, last week with that big complex of storms that went through. Temperatures dropped maybe a little bit, but behind it, the heat is on and it's going to stick around. And it almost looks like, I mean, it really looks like a summer shot here as we check out the picture towards downtown. 89 degrees right now at the big airport. Sunset coming up in 4 hours at 8:11. 89 the current temperature again at Bush, 91 for Tomball, 90 in Sugar Land. The cool spots on the map down towards the coast, 85 in Angleton, 83 in Galveston, 88 Conroe, 91 though in Brenham. As we get you through the rest of the evening, the numbers do cool down, but it's not, it's nothing to write home about. We'll be in the 80s by 6 p.m. in the 70s not till 10 p.m. So we're still flirting with 80 as we come on the air this evening for the 10 o'clock news. And the temperatures tonight only go down to the mid 70s. Tomorrow it's low 90s again, upper 80s then for Wednesday. Really not much relief there, but that's because we could see some more clouds, maybe a stray shower or storm, and that chance will continue into Thursday as well. We will talk about that, how long the heat lasts, and your weekend forecast. We'll see you back here again in 10 minutes, guys.
All right, thank you so much, Pat Kavlin. Another election cycle has kicked off.
Still ahead, what you can expect for the May 28th runoff election and how you can find voting locations.
Plus, the annual Kinder Houston Area Survey is out. We take a look at the top concerns for Houstonians.
And you can help those affected by the storms by donating to the Red Cross. Your donation enables the nonprofit to help people recover. To make a donation, just scan that QR code on your screen. It's right there. And thank you so much in advance for standing for Houston.